Alright guys, so welcome back. It's time for Resist Gaming to face off against Yomi in the semifinals for week 4 of the North American Challenger Cup. I'm Zidane here once again with Ranconius, who is currently eating a snack. Apparently you murdered a kangaroo or something and you get to eat your kill or something. Is that how that works in Australia, or what's going on there?
We have these funny things that you buy in packets called biscuits. I'm not sure if you have them around the world.
Okay, we have to clarify here as well. By biscuits, I'm assuming you mean the silly English biscuits. That's actually what the rest of the world refers to as cookies, like a little sugary,
Okay,
rice
crackers.
Rice cracker. Rice cracker? That's different entirely. Make up your mind.
Alright, fine. Jesus, you know, things are backwards here in Australia. We're upside down. Maybe our brains get a little bit scrambled sometimes.
The only thing that's backwards, picks and bans, the red team on the blue side, the blue team on the red side, because why not? That said, things should in theory be showing up on screen correctly as picks and bans are getting underway. Is going to be Circuit Athena getting banned out by Yomi. Switching names around a little bit here still. I think that's correct
Yomi.
now.
That's Yomi.
Things. It's very confusing. It's very good. That's all I can say about it. It's very confusing. There's an Athena ban somewhere as well.
And because of the Bologna ban coming through from the guys on the side of Resist Gaming, that's because they rely on Fearno to carry them so heavily. They can't afford for him to lose seconds worth of DPS thanks to a Bologna. So just ban that one out, get rid of it. Screw it, it's off the table. Don't worry about it.
It's not just losing that second of DPS from the disarm as well. She's a very big upfront frontliner. The Eagles rallies up very frequently, extra protections for her team, the stun attached to it, the shield stance as well. You get up close and personal, you get in those block stacks that are doing even less damage to you because you're just blocking them outright. And of course you have that hammer bash. If, heaven forbid, the enemy team gets too grouped up, that overhand smash on the tail end of it is going to just wreck somebody's face.
Oh yeah, overhand smash, yeah. And, you know, fear no evil.
Not the Hunbat's overhand smash. The Bologna, I'm going to just put my hammer over my head and just bring it down on your head.
Yeah, that one. The spin around before you do it.
She spins and then she smashes it down to like split your skull open. So it's just called, I'm changing the name to officially, it's the Skull Smasher. Skull Breaker. I might change the name around,
my god.
but I'm renaming it.
Okay, I support that fully.
Yeah, it's nasty. It's not fun. Especially, like I said, if you get multiple hits on the gods, it does more damage per target you hit with that spin portion of it. So it can get this absolutely disgusting.
You know who else has a hammer and isn't banned? Thor.
Yeah. He's getting picked up. We went from him not existing for a week to people remembering he existed on the back of Hindu crying about it all last week. Like, why isn't he picking Thor? I don't know. Probably because he can be shut down too easily. And Thor's being picked up again. Now everyone's like, Thor, you know, we have to either ban him or we have to deal with him. None of the gods who actually work well against him coming out as counters. Which, I'm trying to think, has Thor actually won all the games so far today? I'd be lying if I said I remember in the slightest what team Thor was playing in the previous game, so I have no idea.
The winning one. He was in the winning one. Lunatic played him and won.
There you go. So maybe still worth banning, or at least finding somebody who can kind of shut him down a little bit more early, apply some jungle pressure. Silences and things like that work well to stop the spin to win that is the Berserker Barrage. Other than that, Neith was locked in as well. She can kind of do whatever she wants, go where she pleases. Xbalanque, Cabrakan picked up on the other side for Yomi. Fat Loki making an appearance, likely in the soul lane, possibly the jungle as well. Someone you don't want to deal with, those walls can be absolutely nasty. As things stand right now, it's only Geb who can potentially get locked down on them. They could pick up some other gods as well who have escape options over those walls that he'll bring up out of the ground with that tectonic shift. But, yeah, I don't know. Geb, you know, he's like the god of rocks, or god of earth, or god of mountain. Cabrakan's the mountain one. Destroyer of mountains, breaker of mountains. Geb should be like at home and friends with the rocks and like switch positions or just walk right between them or just like walk through them or something. Sort of like how Ul has the whole I can just like disable my disarm. Geb should be able to deal with the tectonic shift rocks very easily. That's my opinion.
I think that's one of the most interesting tangents I've ever heard you go on.
Occasionally I just pull out weird stuff. It doesn't happen too often, but occasionally I just completely go off the handle.
I really wanted the Rock Geb skin. You know, he'll be starring in Fast and the Furious 8.
Rockstar Geb? Race car Geb, you know, we have the like sort of transformer one, just go full blown race car, he turns into a car and just like drives around. It's like a second Geb 2.0, I have Geb 3.0, the race car, Fast and the Furious edition, just like racing stripes and stuff like that, and little flames on the side to make him go faster.
Anyway, in front of us, there's some god selections.
Yeah, did you know we're casting a Smite tournament right now? Did you know?
When?
Yeah.
When?
Yeah, occasionally.
Anyway.
Speaking of flaming vehicles that make the flames making them go faster, Apollo got locked in. That chariot of fire is going to be going all across the skies, causing all sorts of crazy havoc.
I understand where you went with that. I was lost when you started with that
all
one.
planned. It was a very long transition, admittedly. It was a little long-winded, to be fair. But it all arrived at the fact that I knew Apollo was getting locked in. Like, I was using my psychic inner powers, and I'm going to avoid going off on a tangent of me having super psycho powers. Tyr, Ice is locked in, though.
Locked in, Harvard, locked in. Okay.
So.
Alright, since Tyr Isis, that means the Cabrakan jungle. Well, I mean, it doesn't mean a Cabrakan jungle, but it's like a 95% sure that Cabrakan's going to be in the jungle. And that's only one hunter. Picking Cabrakan early does flex him. You know, you can opt to go either way. I have a feeling they actually wanted the Apollo pick. So that went against them.
My question in this game, the big question in my mind, last time we saw Resist Gaming playing, they had that Hades again. So many times during the early game, during Magicai's gaming, they were not able to shut down the beads to actually allow words as weapons to make use of the Pillar of Agony. Not Agony. Agony. We're going to enunciate that properly every single time to draw it out. It's a great ultimate. The problem is you can't let people escape from it. There's sitting, like I said, waving his arms around, standing still, letting all the damage come directly onto him, and he's not having an effect while he's doing it. If they can burn those beads, they have the spirit arrows, they have the shockwaves, and they have those Thor walls. So there's a little bit of, there's some longer range beads burning abilities on the side of Resist Gaming, so that may work a little bit better. At the same time, there's a lot of burst damage coming out. He's going, look on the other side, you know, they have that Xbalanque, that late game hyper carry. They use 2 to 3 steroids, depending if you count that range increase on the Darks of Nights as a steroid or not. Isis, Spirit Ball. You're standing still, I can just fire from max range and it's going to hit you because you're standing still. Tyr, wait for it to end, catch him up in that Fearless, and lock him down with the rest of the team. It could potentially be risky if they can't catch the right people in it.
The AoE fight coming from the side of Yomi is absolutely incredible. They want to be locking you in a small, shallow area of the jungle, potentially around mid-harpy camps, locking you up, and beating you to a pulp by locking you in with the Cabrakan ulti. Then they're going to knock you up with Xylvanus. You've got Xbalanque that's just like, you can't see where you're going, you can't see what you're trying to dodge, it's just going to come racing at you. You know, the potential to do something like is absolutely fantastic. And if you try to fight them in that circle, Tremors, the ultimate from Cabrakan we already mentioned, Wrath of Terror, Darkest of Nights, Tyr can just ult in, he can Fearless, he can keep you locked up for days. And then at the end of that, Circle of Protections for bonus burst and healing. This is a really, really strong, I'm going to say more focused around mid camps and jungle camp picks, not Fire Giant, not Goldfruit. Those areas are just a little bit too spread out.
Yep. Well, we'll see how this pans out in just a few minutes, guys. The game is ready. We're going to jump on into that, sync ourselves all up, and we'll be back here with the semifinal matchup between Yomi and Resist Gaming in just a few moments. So stick around, enjoy the music. We'll see you in just a few. Alright guys, hello and welcome back. It's time for the semifinal matchup. This one's going to be Resist Gaming facing off against Yomi. Maybe Yomi facing off against Resist Gaming. Sometimes production actually puts team names on the correct side of the board. This is not one of those occasions.
Hashtag where is Hindu?
Something about SPL or some silly nonsense like that. We have the SPL, the Challenger Cup. Let's face it, this is where the real action's at. We have back-to-back absolutely crazy games. I'm hoping to see nothing different coming out of this one. Like I said, Yomi up against Resist Gaming now with their team names on the correct sides of the screen. A little bit of confusion right now if you're, trying to kill Chaos, forgetting he's on the red team as well and he can't attack his ally. Realizing that his mistake, gonna join up the party, try and get a little bit, get some action on here in the mid lane. Chaos is like, no, I'm not having this, go away, Apollo. Your little backpack, it's like silly schoolboy attire, go away. Nothing to do with this.
And here we have Apollo walking down the runway in his stunning skin. This time around, I believe it's Cursed Voice Apollo coming through. And would you look at that backpack he's sporting today, Shodan? Absolutely stellar. You can pick this one up from the store. Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you get that skin. Absolutely fantastic. On the other side of things, Xbalanque, what skin are you running on this Xbalanque today, Shodan? What are we seeing here?
Xbalanque skins, it is going to be the season ticket Xbalanque, the red variation of it, which is on the blue team. Makes no sense to me, Ranconius. It's such silly. The blue team, you should have that blue shield. It's just wrong. It shouldn't be allowed. That said, the way these jungle starts are going, it's going to be Yomi on the back foot immediately as Resist Gaming, pushing that minion wave early on to all the way to this tower, which is not something you expect to see. Xylvanus, typically known as, well, Xylvanus provides the best early game wave clear as far as supports are concerned, but they didn't get there in time to actually make use of any of that, so they're going to be on the back foot. Wave 2, they can look to apply that and actually get that working like we might expect. Early rotation coming out, though. Cabrakan already heading towards that left lane. They identified the fact that Resist Gaming is very far forward. Now, can they actually make something happen with this?
This is going to be a 4-man rotation as well. Cabrakan is already speeding up. He's looking to come in on the backside. He's going to get the stun down on towards Valentine, so the Stone Shield is gone. But that's a nice poke put down. And, well, you mentioned it. The wave clear coming out from Xylvanus is strong, but his ability to keep Met Yankee topped up, clear the waves, put pressure down, it's all very, very strong in this early portion of the game. And when a Cabrakan comes in and is just like, yo, Geb, take some poke, burn some money, burn some of those potions, that's some early advantage that they really need to get it going.
Resist actually played that pretty well. You saw Fear No may have been typing to someone, so someone sent a whisper and he was responding at a very unfortunate time, or just like, there's no way they're going to actually go for a kill right here. I don't need to move. We have the minions on our hand. We're technically a 3v4 with those minions helping us out. I'm just going to stand here. If they come in, what's the worst thing that happens? I have my 3. I can dash out of here. I have the Serenade. I can stun them in place. I have options available.
I spotted what happened. They went for left-hand side back cams from Yomi's side. That's why they were late to lane. There you go.
There's no invade coming after those guys.
No, they went for their own left-hand side back camps. That's where they started.
They just respawned?
Back camps, into red buff, into purple buff, into lane.
Okay, that would explain.
That's why they were late.
That would really absolutely make sense. I was pretty sure they started damage buff. I think I had them on camera. That might, I don't know. That could be why.
They did.
But they've stabilized.
Then they went to,
that's the big thing. They stabilized. They're not too worried about it right now. Verdant growth for Stone Shield. Xylvanus popping a potion to keep his bars all tied up. So the health potion maybe not needed at the moment. His health bar is kind of full already. But mid harpies are about to spawn. You want to make sure you're as fit as possible when this fight does break up. Met Yankee looking for the collapse in. Valentine caught by that tectonic shift. He's not going anywhere.
Still looking to see if they can actually finish him off. In the meantime, Met Yankee's going to say, hey, first blood, 5 bonus power, and a bunch of bonus gold in my pocket. I will take first blood every single day of the week when you're sitting on a Xbalanque.
Yeah, for now, though, in the mid lane, it's going to be a little bit of grouping. The pole connects on the Who Dat. Spirit Ball connects. They have the stuns from the Refraction Shield and the other things. Cabrakan has stuns. That's what I was trying to get at there. Unfortunately, did not actually have it available. The unfortunate bit of it, it's a great stun. It's an AoE frontal stun, but you had to have taken damage beforehand for it to actually do so. So a little bit of poke, but Who Dat was able to use his abilities and escape, not able to get picked off there.
Left-hand side of the map, TV is going to be putting that poke down on towards Fino that we were talking about earlier on. And check this out, Met Yankee already base. He's gone for the Devo's Gauntlet build this time around. We're pretty used to seeing the differences in the Hunter builds, but let's go over it just one more time.
Yeah, it's going to be an initial one. Devourer's Gauntlet will be a safer item. As long as he doesn't commit to a fight with Fearno, the fact that Heartseeker is going to scale up a little bit more quickly with those Heartseeker stacks, giving 2 points of physical power per stack, as opposed to Devourer's Gauntlet, which is only 0.75. Later on, he's going to have slightly less damage from the fully stacked, but he'll have lifesteal, kind of evens things out in that regard. Fear No will also most likely be looking for an Assy afterwards, whereas Maggie can go straight for boots afterwards. He'll have the lifesteal, he'll have the damage, he'll have the extra damage and attack speed from the boots, so once the second item starts coming up, they'll be kind of back to parity, and then Fear No also has to keep in mind, if he dies, he has to go farm up the stacks to get that physical power back up to where it just was.
Oh, 7 stacks already in hand as well for Met Yankee, so he is going to be just a little bit ahead. And see what he's doing here on this left-hand side of the map as well at the same time. He's freezing this minion wave up because Fearno was basing to pick up his stacking item at the same time. So he managed to kill off as many of the creeps on the left-hand side to stop Fearno from getting as many stacks as he could, maintain the XP, denied Fearno some XP as well at the same time. Very, very good play from Met Yankee. That is understanding how to play the Hunter, how to play the minion waves, and how to play that macro strategy to the absolute dime.
Also worth noting as well, Kateki is not a sub or anything like that. It is Woo Woo. It's a name change. I just saw it on screen, just remembered I wanted to mention that. So that is Woo Woo. A little bit of a name change coming from those guys. Blink Cataclysm in mid lane, looking for the gank onto Unrelinquished. And that worked stunningly.
Not just stunningly, it was a little bit more than that, and Chaos is going to toss out that World Weaver and look to do some stunning of his own. It's on towards Woo Woo. You mentioned the name change. He's going to make his way on out of there, but the Darkest of Nights was burned from Matt Yankee. He wants something on towards Valentine. Didn't manage to tag him up either with those poison darts. Valentine's just like, yo, bud, get out of my face. Get out. I'm going to walk away. Cool guys don't look at explosions.
This has been an interesting day. We've gone off on all sorts of tangents. We covered the had a biology lesson earlier on. Now we're doing karaoke on stream, and we're just going all sorts of weird places today.
But left-hand side mid-camp's going to be the contestant. Down comes that ultimate from the Cabrakan, and the wow, look at the Wrath of Terror, whacking all three as well. Hudat's in a little bit of trouble, but in comes the ultimate from Virno, trying to join this one. Jilly's here and now as well. They're going to find Hudat. It's going to be another kill for Matt Yankee. That's huge. Jilly finds Chaos as well. With another bit of a charge forward, they've got Virno sent it in towards this Gold Fury. If they find another kill, they donate this to Matt Yankee. No, it's going to be Woo Woo that picks that one up, and now they're going to start on towards the Gold Fury, but in comes that Hades. Look at the agony, the Pillar of Agony. It is hurting, but Matt Yankee finds himself another 1, 2, 3 triple kill. That's killing spree. That's 3 stacks on the board for Matt Yankee on the Xbalanque. He's got 2 assists in hand as well, and he is one hell of a rich Xbalanque.
If there's any debate, at this particular instance, if Devourer's Gauntlets is going to work out up against a Heartseeker, 15 power from those stacks, like you said, from the passive. The extra 30-some-odd stacks sitting on the board from the Devourer's Gauntlets as well. Right now, Matt Yankee should have looked to box out Virno and not be concerned at all. Level advantage as well in his favor, so the Heartseeker right now not working out at all for Virno. He came down that fight, he dropped down the back line, he kind of out of position. He was caught out between all 5 members. They chased down one more kill, they got the pick, they turned back around, they found him. Words his weapon. That was a scary Pillar of Agony coming out on that Gold Fury, but unfortunately, he was getting focused down. He didn't have the Wrath of the Gods, or Hand of the Gods for that matter, to come out and actually burst down and finish off that Gold Fury. Hand of the Gods came down, was secured, they picked up Words' weapons. Yeah, he got a kill, it was a nice little answer on the back of it, but in the end, Yomi came out with that one with a pretty huge lead. That was a big, big spike of damage back and a couple kills in the Gold Fury. Big spike of gold.
Yeah, and think about the worthwhileness of that fight for them as well. They've now got a 3-stacked Xbalanque. The late game scaling of Matt Yankee is already on board. He's big. You've got a Heartseeker on the side of Apollo, and he can't box. He can't box whatsoever. That Heartseeker has just been totally just ripped to shreds on the backside. Matt Yankee, he's bigger than Virno.
Yeah. Virno's going to be trying to just basically farm up for the longest time possible. He'll be looking to farm up split push as long as he can. He's going to be a bit behind Matt Yankee as far as getting online, whereas Matt Yankee, we touched on it before, 2 to 3 attacks, or 2 to 3 steroids on one hunter. It's not the typical, you press a button, you attack quicker for a little bit longer. It's every kill you get 5 physical power that is always active. You turn on your 1. As long as you have a mana bar, you're throwing around bolas that you hit somebody, it branches off to 2 additional targets for 30% damage each. That's a lot of extra damage coming in the form of an AoE. And then you look at his ultimate. It's potentially a stun, it decreases vision, and it increases his range, so he can attack from outside the range of anybody else. So you box and keep that, you know, if you're able to control range in a fight, you can box down a hunter where the hunter can actually not hit you once just because they physically don't have the range.
And the other thing, they're not even going to be able to see the in-hands coming at you either. Like, that's the bonus range of that Darkest of Night. Such a strong spell. I love that. I love it so much. In all games, I'm a one man that just likes to sit off, be that lone wolf, be that sniper, and Xbalanque, he's just the god for me, and he's gonna drop that Darkest of Nights and look to go aggressive, but so is his team. Left-hand side mid-camps, it's the same all over again. Unrelinquished is gonna pick it up, but Pillar of Agony, what can they do on the back of this one? Words of weapons. He's gonna at least find one in response, and now Woo Woo gets that World Weaver to the face, and that's gonna be all she wrote on that one, or is it? Because Jilly, he's not quite done.
And Matt Yankee found the kill on Virno on the left-hand side. Gilly trying to come on in and find some cleanup kills, but not going to be happening. The difference between this game and actually the fight's not quite over. Lawbringer trying to buy some distance. Hudat's going to give chase. This could be a back and forth. If Gilly can land the Fearless before Hudat is actually able to do any damage, Gilly will come out victorious. A wall connect into a double tap that will find the kill. Fearless actually finds damage, but the Berserker Barrage does the damage it needs to. He didn't actually find the roots and knock-ups and knocks back. Matt Yankee answers back though, making the rotation over from that duo lane. That's an almost fully stacked passive on him. Fully stacked Devourer's Gauntlets. He's huge. He wasn't part of that fight. But the reason that fight went as poorly as it did was complete lack of crowd control removal from anybody on Yomi. They cannot get out of that Pillar of Agony right now, and it showed in that fight because it just did work for his team.
And Matt Yankee might have a fully stacked passive in just a few seconds. They're looking to pick it up. Chaos is one hand away. One in hand, and dead. Matt Yankee, 6-0-3, 7,100 gold, and we are 11 minutes into this game. That man is going to base. He's going to pick up his Assy if he wants it. He's going to pick up an Incaval if he wants that. He has got gold to spare, and they're not quite done.
Woo does not like Valentine. That is like, tectonic shift has been solely on him. Pillar of Agony, TV is taking a lot of damage from that and the tower. As Thor goes up in the air, Kiteki in the backside right now. The damage about to come in from that spin to win as the camera swoops back on over. Warrior's Weapons picks up one. World Weaver about to find Unrelinquished for the snipe across the map. It's only Kiteki left standing right now. Where's his weapon? Death from below is about to be off cooldown. There it comes. Fear about to come back out as well. He is dead to rights as Where's his weapon picks up yet another kill. 5-1-2 on Hades. It was questionable how well it worked against Magic Eyes Gaming. This time around, Words' Weapons is rocking this Hades big time.
He's got the items online. Jilly's going to blink in. He's looking to be a part of this one. He's got the Lawbringer to get out of that Spirit Arrow. And now he's got the Fearless online trying to run away. But they're going to grab the catch on towards Chaos. And he's forced to backflip and run away. And they're going to delay this Gold Fury. Is it going to be long enough? Well, I don't think so. There's too many members of Resist Gaming on this one, but they're going to force it to reset. And Chili, he's going in, and down comes the Wrath of Terror, hitting all 4 members. They're looking for Words as weapons, not quite able to pick him up. And now the focus is on towards TV, and Fearno picks himself up a kill. And Resist Gaming find their carry 1 in the pocket. And now it's not quite done. Unrelinquished, he wants a piece of this Gold Fury. It's going to reset once again. No, it's still on towards Valentine, but they've got the Cataclysm. They lock him up and Resist Gaming. They're going to secure the Gold Fury. Jilly, you're not quite done, son. Matt Yankee with all those finished items is now going to rejoin this fight. What can they find, Shodan?
Chaos is being chased around now, but Matt Yankee, Hudat's going to provide a timely wall to stop that chase. Resist Gaming are keeping everyone alive in those fights. Valentine, the first time so far that Kiteki has not dedicated Tectonic Shift directly to him, was able to stay alive, provide a Stone Shield to keep Words' weapons alive for the entire fight. Chaos, a wall coming down from across the wall from Hudat, keeping Chaos alive. They got the Gold Fury. I guess the second one. First one did go over to Yomi. So it's a little bit back and forth right now, but these fights are really messy. There's really no other way to put this right now. These are not clean victories in any way, shape, or form. And both teams are punishing the mistakes of the other one. Words' weapon, getting these great Pillar of Agonies off. Kiteki, Geb is not that easy to burst down target anymore. The regular Guardian scaling is starting to pick up. He has that Iron Mail online, not a Sovereignty yet. As soon as he gets back to base, that will be finished off. He has the Shoes of Focus as well, not the Travel Shoe, so a little bit behind in gold, due in part to that. But that cooldown reduction, you can't underestimate it. More Stone Shields, especially late game when they're, absorbing a third of a health bar worth of damage, can be a big factor in a fight.
And that CC reduction, that's so crucial to the fights as well. That's the big factor that is underrated. Health, bonus health, the ability to lifesteal for any of those hunters to get themselves back up to full health outside of the Stone Shield, then that ability that they're going to get out of CC, the free bonus beads. Valentine, he has the potential to both engage and turn a fight by landing the perfect Cataclysm and also turn it by the clutch Stone Shield. But on the right-hand side of the map, it's going to be the Jilly focus, but there's so many members over here, this one could go either way.
Yeah, we'll see. Matt Yankee not going to be here for this one either. Hudak going to be forced to use his beads to avoid the damage coming from those guys. Unrelinquished catches a World Weaver to stop him from trying to give chase. Matt Yankee right now, he's not even just huge, he's enormous, and he's not here for any of these fights. They need to just stop farming, group up, look to siege down these objectives. If he doesn't get caught by the Pillar of Agony from Words' weapons, they'll win these fights quite handedly, but he's not here for these fights, and that's been the biggest issue. He comes in towards the end, and the fight's more or less over at that point because they've gotten picked off beforehand.
Picked off beforehand, Apollo can get across there if he wants, but he's just trying to put pressure on towards this tower. They're going to rotate Chaos in, and this is a very smart move. Why is this a smart move? The wave clear from Chaos is so much stronger. They need to put Apollo in a lane where he can start to split push, but that risk putting him up against Jilly over here in this solo, and Words' weapons, he's big. They want to keep him there.
Fearno's up as well. They're going to try to avoid this stun. Commander's going to knock defender. Unrelinquished going to find a Spirit Ball into Hudat. Valentine in the backside now, going to throw a Stone Shield and pop a Cataclysm onto 2 and find that kill with the Shockwave onto Unrelinquished.
Fight's not quite over yet. TV is still trying to do what he can with the Wisps in the mid-ground and provide some space for Matt Yankee. Matt Yankee's starting to provide some space of all of his own with those in-hands. He's looking for Hoodat. Rising Jaguar is going to block the stun, but he's not going to block the snare. And now the focus turns over towards Chaos. And when your hunter or one of your two hunters is starting to eat it like there's no tomorrow, you've got to run away, and that's what they're going to do. But this is only a 3v4. Yeah,
they really can't look to push us too much. I was talking about Matt Yankee wasn't really part of these fights. That last one, he did a lot of damage throwing out in the middle of that engagement. He got about 3,000 worth in that overall fight. There's Fearno Evo coming down, Darks of Knights, or whatever the ability is actually called. Ballantine getting caught by Wrath of Terror as his Fearno's fight commences. Ballantine falls once again to Kateki, who definitely has it out for him so far today. Where's his weapon? Teleport was interrupted over on the right-hand side. He's not joining this fight.
Did he just burn? He burned the... Pillar of Agony as well. His ultimate's on cooldown. He was looking to teleport in and then use that one to be a part of it. Woo Woo is now in a world of hurt. They're going to find one more in-hand from Chaos to clean that one up. Thor is taken up. Matt Yankee, he's got in-hands though, and he's managed to dodge out the CC of Hoodat, and the Spirit Ball from Unrelinquished is going to clean that one up. Now the chase is going to continue for Matt Yankee. Rising Jaguar onto the tower if he can find some more in-hands before he gets snared, but it's going to be the snare first. They're going to get the shutdown on a Matt Yankee, but Matt Yankee's got the damage for one more. It's Fearno. Can they find the second? Wingust almost dodges all four, but it's only one needed from Unrelinquished. He cleans it up, and they're going to take this tower. They're not quite done with this one just yet. TV to tank it up. Will Geb be able to come in and make something happen at this point in time? I don't think so. He's going to play quite passively, and Resist Gaming come off on the worst for wear side of a Yomi engage.
Yeah, I wish I could see the exact amount of gold on that Mega shutdown, because it may not have been 750 gold, but it was pretty darn close to it. It's a higher cooldown now, or higher cap on the shutdown bonuses. It used to be 500, it's now up to 750. So letting yourself get a little too big for your britches, get too aggressive and get caught out like a spirit arrow while tanking the tower, and you get rooted under the tower for a second and a half, and then die horribly because of it. That's a lot of extra gold going to the enemy team, even if you trade 1 for 1. Apollo was a little bit behind. He's not worth as much gold to begin with, so not the greatest trade. They got a couple extra kills, so overall it was a victory for those guys. It's not a no Heartseeker stacks lost. So Matt Yankee, it's more gold in the bank for him. Not a bad thing necessarily, but little things like that you have to be careful of doing overall, because it could have been a situation where Resist Gaming could have turned that around on the heads of Yomi if things had been a little different.
Yeah, it's things can go a little bit different, and just that little bit different can swing the fights back and forth. It's not very much, but right now, when that big thing that's swinging the fights is a big Matt Yankee at level 18, he's looking for something, and right now it's Fearno, and Fearno's got to run away. Look at those in-hands. That is almost half of his health bar gone already. He's going to have some life steal at least, but Jilly is going to look for Hoodat. They get that blink. The Wrath of Terror is going to miss from TV, but now the World Weaver is going to at least save Hoodat. He's going to be able to take to the sky, put down a lot of burst damage if he can rejoin this fight. The Gold Fury not even started up at this point in time, Jordan, but it's not quite done yet.
And they're chasing a link for kills right now. They can force the fight at the Gold Fury rather than trying to find a little incidental poke on Resist Gaming. You want the fight, make them bring it to you. At the same time, they have to watch out for the Pillar of Agony coming off of Words as weapons. We saw that make a huge difference in a couple fights so far. I wouldn't imagine this one to be any different, especially if they group up. Cataclysm does connect on the 2. Oh, they walked into a 3-man as the certain protections drop down from the mitigation and healing. Will it be enough? So the fight does continue. Matt Yankee finds one. It's now down to him as the cleanup crew deep behind enemy lines. 1v2. That's a Geb, not a Matt Yankee, but nevertheless, they're in the back looking to clean this fight up.
Can they find another one? Woo Woo is looking to chase out on towards that Words as weapon. Hades, another Tremors to slow him down. For Unrelinquished to come in, won't find a Spirit Ball, but the Wingust is more than enough to take him down. But the underneath the worlds, it's going to be Words as weapons trying to run away. He's going to get one more Fear off, but silenced up, and a Spirit Ball is going to clean that one up. They got the cleanup as well. Off on towards Gab, I'm going to say, coming through from the side of Matt Yankee. So another kill for him. And now they're going to look to siege up this left-hand side tower. Nope, they're just like, nope, Gold Fury, it's safer. We don't have to risk anything. We don't have to burn damage onto something that might have bonus protections depending upon if there's minions around. But Jilly, he don't care. He's got enough protections to continue going underneath this tower and then finally run away. He's got sustain as well if he needs that one in hand. But this is a 4-man heading towards the mid lane. And look at this tower fall, Jordan.
Yep, that's the power of a Xbalanque with a whole load of stuff online. He has that fully stocked passive. The Interval is picked up as well. He's going to get caught in lockdown. World Weaver going to be beats that up. It's going to be too little too late. He will fall. Kateki drops down the tectonic shift, trying to save his life and buy him some time, but it was just not enough. Thor's up in the air. Isis was recalling a warp. They're going to go for Kateki instead. He's not going to be getting out of this one alive. Tier 1 tower for 2 kills. Yeah, a little bit of experience dip, but gold, just a slight bit of a gain there for those guys. So, yeah, a little bit of a back and forth kind of trade situation. Although...
They got the Gold Fury.
Gold Fury notwithstanding. This Fire Giant now being sorted up by Resist Gaming. Gilly and TV are here looking to stop this, looking for this potential steal if they can find it. Where's his weapon? They're looking to burst TV down. That will just force them over for the straight up Fire Giant engagement. They're going to actually force the reset, which is what they were looking for, as reinforcements arrive, TV falls.
That's going to be the worst problem that they can really face at this point in time, but Unrelinquished is going to join the fight and start ripping through members of the opposition lineup. Resist Gaming got to be careful. Valentine's in a little bit of trouble. He's been burned through by Gilly. What next? What's the goal here? Chaos is going to be going incredibly low, but not before they manage to find the pickup on towards Unrelinquished. Fierno is in a world of trouble. The ultimate to come through from Matt Yankee. A triple kill on the Fire Giant for Gilly is going to stop them from Resist Gaming even thinking to do about that one. They wanted to engage and pick off TV, but whoa, if Matt Yankee gets here, this will be a Fire Giant for Yomi.
That was a, like, 2.5 versus 5 fight. TV, with Unrelinquished arrived back like a split second before TV fell in that fight. Some Fire Giant tanking fails going on, Gilly taking a lot of poke, the tectonic shift not helping things right now. Eventually, someone will actually tell these guys in the Challenger Cup how to properly tank the Fire Giants up. Many knockups. Gilly actually forced to leave before he fell to it. Nevertheless, Fire Giant is secure and Unrelinquished, kind of the short man on the totem pole there, being left without it. But Matt Yankee, that's more stats, that is more damage. Execution just got completed for him. I imagine that he's top of the damage charts right now. Not by much, but definitely sitting up there compared to early on in the game. He wasn't really part of the fights. He was kind of sitting down near the bottom a little bit more. So he's definitely been more involved. And sitting up top, 2 to 3 steroids on that Xbalanque as well. That number's only going to keep going up.
He's level 20. He's level 20 at 22 minutes and 45 seconds in the game. Somebody pointed out in chat, 19 at 19 minutes. This is a big Met Yankee. For a guy who can't decide whether he wants to be a fan of the New York Mets or the New York Yankees, well, at least he's picked his own team to go big for this time around. The focus on towards Fierno is going to come through. They did miss the ultimate to come through from the Cabrakan, but down goes the ultimate of Matt Yankee. The beads to come through the sprint as well, but the in-hands from Matt Yankee proved too good. He's over 20k on the player damage chart, right in time for him to pick up another kill.
Right now, for Resist Gaming want to mount the defense at this Phoenix, which is going to be getting looked for here in just a moment by Yomi. It's going to come down to a perfect Pillar of Agony coming out from Words as Weapons. If he's not able to find at least 3 people in that and lock them down, it's going to be kind of a non-factor in this next fight. Xbalanque is going to make very quick work of this. Maybe that wasn't enough. They're looking for the defense. Can they lock the guys down? There's 3, but Matt Yankee was able to get out.
But then comes that ultimate to come through from Hudad. That was crucial to turn that fight around, but he just got turned on. He's going to get at least that one to get himself out of there, but now they just turn back around. They're like, yo, we win the fight. We forced you guys away, and we're taking your Phoenix in one fell swoop. He didn't get enough damage on towards Matt Yankee, and whatever they did, he lifestealed through, and he's still back, and he's going to continue fighting this one out for his team.
That Words' weapon will fall as the mid of Phoenix is being tanked up by Kateki right now. He's not concerned that will finally fall. There it goes. Hudad getting blocked down right now. Spirit Ball from Unrelinquished will secure that kill. And as it's looking right now, 45 seconds plus on respawns with 2 plus people. Valentina 40 as he falls. It's looking like this could be game. It's 2 members left sitting for this game. It's both hunters, but they're so squishy. Chaos staying alive. Good unravel. Fierno falls as does the Titan. They tried to hold on towards the end and make that defense, but the circle protection coming from Isis is just the perfect answer to that Pillar of Agony. Hades is doing damage to people, drop down the circle, you get that mitigation. People whose health bar are getting low, pop it, health bars shoot way back up, and then the team fight is basically yours for the taking.
Wow, just what a really well-played game from Matt Yankee. Yeah, you mentioned he wasn't getting in those fights earlier, and he was really big, but he needed to get those items on board. He had to wait for that Xbalanque. He had to wait for the execution to come through, but as soon as he got those items on board, straight into fights. Instantaneously, he knew he'd hit that power spike, and he knew his team needed him to carry, and boy, did he carry.
Oh, without a doubt. Finishing the game out 10-3-13. One little silly mistake, maybe channeling a little bit of his challenger level Zatman playing. You know, we don't have challenger level players from Zatman. It's now Met Yankee filling those boots. So they'll be off to the finals to face off against a team who I haven't actually checked the brackets for quite yet. High five! Beat out Lunatic Esports in the other semifinal matchup. So we'll be seeing those two face off here in just a couple moments. We're going to cut to a quick little break, guys. As soon as we're back, it's going to be game one of the best 3 finals to close out North America for week 4 of the North American Challenger Cup.